of surprise.
And we learned that there were Tomahawk missiles, other missiles that were used in this initial strike. What sort of capability do we think Iran has at this point?
At this point, it's just going to be revenge shots. So, in the past, the Iranians have launched at not only the base or the countries in the region that have been supporting the U.S. Now we're seeing the what appears to be the Fifth Fleet headquarters in Manama, Bahrain, has been targeted. Perhaps in Qatar, the U.S. bases there in Qatar. So it's all revenge shots, and it's just trying to do something to disrupt the flow of U.S. aircraft and Israeli aircraft over Tehran. So they're going to be very limited. They're going to have to be a bit heads down because obviously there are airplanes airborne right now looking for missile sites, trying to preempt those missile attacks. And so this is going to be a real challenge for the Iranians to do something substantive while they don't know what their leadership, whether their leadership is still alive, they don't know what their leadership wants them to do. But at this point, what the Iranians are going to be able to do is mostly revenge. The unique part about this effort is this is the first time that the U.S. really in decades has gone after any of their naval assets. So the Iranian Navy, various ports have been hit along the Persian Gulf and along the Indian Ocean, Chabahar, Bandar Abbas. So the U.S. is going to go to great lengths to make sure that the Iranian Navy, the IRGC part of that, don't have the ability to interfere with shipping, particularly oil shipping, coming out of the Persian Gulf.
Steve Ganyard, thank you very much. Stay with us. We want to go back to Tel Aviv. That's where Ian Pannell has been hunkering down, and he's back out of that shelter, as we can see. But again, the alerts are still there. Ian, give us an idea about the mood there in Israel. There's a state of emergency that's been going on. Iran has, through its state media, says that its response has begun.
Yeah, that's right. As expected, the retaliation has begun. Iran actually launching 3 waves of strikes against Israel. We believe there have been intercepts over Jerusalem. As we were reporting earlier, we had the air raid sirens here, and so we, like most people in the city, were taking shelter. It's already been a very, very quiet morning. We were woken to the sound of an air raid siren, essentially warning people that a state of emergency had been declared, warning that preemptive action, in the words of the Israeli Defense Minister Katz, had been taken against Iran, and that everybody should expect a response in the form of drones and missiles from Iran. Now, in some senses, Israel has gone through this fairly recently, and citizens know what to do. But despite how good their air defences are, some of those missiles got through last time and people lost their lives. So I think the fact that this seems to be a kind of open-ended conflict at the moment will be a great cause for concern for people. They've had a lot to deal with over a very long period. Whether schools go back is an open question. Whether people go back to work, all normal life for now will effectively be suspended here. And we're looking at some historic change in the Middle East underway right now. We've already seen substantial change ever since the attack here on October the 7th, 2023. We saw the war in Lebanon against Hezbollah significantly weakened. We've seen Bashar al-Assad, the leader of Syria, deposed. We've seen attacks in Yemen against the Houthi rebels. In many ways, Israel has dealt with a lot of its enemies, and the kind of face of the Middle East has been undergoing this rapid change. And this, in some senses, is the largest and the biggest part of that. Now, we can't say at the moment where this is going to end. The president set himself a very large list of objectives of what he's trying to achieve here, destroying the Navy, dealing with its missiles, encouraging the Iranian people to come out onto the streets. We'll have to wait and see whether any of those things can be achieved. Trying to get some of those things done just from the air will be incredibly difficult, but I think we are looking at historic times. This is the beginning of a significant change in the region, and at the moment with entirely unpredictable consequences.
And Ian Pannell, we're going to come back to you in Tel Aviv as we can. We want to return to Martha Raddatz. Ian said that he's noting a major shift and a major change in the region. Do you agree with that?
I certainly do. And what happens next, and those proxy groups coming back and trying to attack the U.S., trying to attack Israel or U.S. bases, and you have to look at what the U.S. has in that region. Typically, there are about 30 to 40,000 U.S. military forces stationed in the Middle East. We have 35,000 now because we've been adding to that, and certainly those destroyers, those aircraft carriers, so it will probably more than 40,000. Those U.S. military bases, we have in Iraq 2,500 people, in Jordan 4,000, Qatar, which is Al Udeid Air Base, which right now they believe there might be a missile coming towards Qatar, normally around 10,000. We have a base in Kuwait. We have a base in Bahrain, 3,200. This is where the Navy's 5th Fleet is, and in the United Arab Emirates, the Al Dhafra Air Base. So you have all of these people. They have been trying to protect them. They have added defensive measures over the past month or so, but there is still a great deal of concern. I have to think of the parents of the military tonight, the spouses, who had not really heard a warning like that from President Trump. Obviously, our forces are in danger even when they're doing exercises. It's dangerous to fly a fighter jet. It's dangerous to be on a ship. But to know that the President of the United States told them tonight, these military families, that there may be casualties because that's what happens in war, had to be the most sobering thing they have heard. And to know how long this will last and that there are troops in these bases taking cover. We know there were troops injured in 2020 when Iran retaliated for the death of Qasem Soleimani. Tonight, all things have changed in that region, certainly the politics of that region, but the fear in that region for the safety of our troops as well. And many, many questions remain about why now.
ABC's Martha Raddatz, thank you very much.